Hi, my name is Ethan Self. For my midterm project, I purchased the product Rock and Sock and Robots. I purchased it from the Duluth Trading Company in Independence, Missouri, and the retail cost of it was $24.95. It's made by Mattel Games, pretty well-known toy company. As far as recommendations go, the first one I noticed is it's pretty easy to get together, but it's relatively difficult to take back apart. Um, all of these poles here, they come apart pretty easily, and it's not too difficult to take the robots off. But what is difficult is separating this piece here from this controller. So it separates under there, I don't know if you can see that, and it would be much easier to take apart if there's a little opening so you could insert like something to push on those tabs to get it to come apart, because if I pull on this, it seems like it'd be pretty easy to break it. So that's my first recommendation. My second recommendation would be a recommendation to maximize profits, and by doing that, or to maximize profits, I think you should add accessories to it. So it'd be really simple, and they could be sold separately. So it'd be a way that Mattel Games could potentially profit off of this more after they even sold the initial product. So I think they could add features such as putting swords in the fighters' hands, or helmets and like shields that you could just pop onto their hands. So it takes small modifications to their hands as well as to the head to allow like a helmet to sign it, just for kind of aesthetics. And then the swords, would actually be used in battle. And all that would really be need to change is the angles which these arms punch, for that to be a very viable option for them. Another thing I thought of would be for them to make this game, turn this down a little bit, make this game playable for 4 people. So really wouldn't take that much of a change. You'd have to make the arena a little bit bigger. So this yellow pad here would have to be a bit bigger across. And then you could add a player on this side and on this side. And if these players are all facing in line with the controls, as you can see they're at an angle here from the controls, they're all in line, and this side here allowed to pivot some more, you could potentially make it a 4-player game, allowing for more people to enjoy the fun, and I think expand the market a little bit. Maybe more people would buy it, if it's a 4-player game. Let's see. Oh, okay, so my next thing was to market this product so it would be seen as kind of a less violent alternative to fighting video games for young kids. So, sorry, let me think. So, for example, if you marketed this game in a more subtle manner, like on the box, it kind of depicts like bam, boom, these guys are punching and fighting each other. But if you kind of like depicted a family setting playing this game, I think parents might be more likely to buy it than buy a fighting game for their kids. Especially since in this day and age, parents don't like how much kids are glued to their video games. Maybe this would be a nice alternative if marketed correctly. Could be seen as very kid-friendly game that would be a healthy alternative to playing, fighting games that are intended for teenagers and adults. And my last, most important recommendation is actually an alternative to the first recommendation I made, which would be taking it apart. And this recommendation would be to actually make a version of this that didn't come apart, and therefore I think you can make it more durable. But along with it not coming apart, I think you could also make like a square box that was also plastic and it had like some foam inserts in it. So you could place this in like a half a box, put the lid on it, which would have foam cutouts to kind of hold these guys in place and keep them from getting damaged. And maybe if you could modify these controls to fold up in some way, or take them off still and lay them in that box and put the lid on top, and it'd be like a nice travel version of this, that you could easily just pop out and start playing without having to assemble like this. Because within this current box, and you got to take it all apart to put it away, and then you have to put it back together so you can play it. So you're gonna take that factor out, and you could play it as soon as you opened it up, pretty much. And by keeping these guys together, I feel it would be a more durable game. It would be less likely to break. And you could also sell it in two options. You could have your cheaper, like nostalgic version, which would be like this, which it comes apart, goes in the box. Maybe for some people who played it like the way it is now, or when the game came out, in the 70s, 80s. Or you could have a newer version that would be like a travel option, a little bit more expensive, a little bit more durable, aimed more at kids to take to their friends' houses or to families' houses and play it. And so, yeah, that is my midterm project. Thank you very much for watching.